Yeah, Mike, Oklahoma dominated those opening minutes of the second half. Just what did you see as the momentum swung fully in their favor?
Yeah, step late to a couple of those threes. Early second half, they got it going. Their crowd got involved. All of a sudden, they picked it up a little bit defensively. We made a couple substitutions. We had a couple really poor offensive possessions that led to some open threes for them in transition, and that was it. That was it. Never got into a rhythm defensively the entire game. Did a very poor job defending the three. In our guys' defense and in Oklahoma's credit, they're incredibly difficult to defend with sometimes four elite shooters on the court with a rim roller, and sometimes five high-level shooters when they play a certain lineup. And then you've got Tay Davis, who can make shots, of course, but he's as good of an isolation player as there is probably in our league. And they had it going, man. Number 22 off the bench. I don't remember a performance like that in a long time, and I can't even think of when that would have been, where a guy made that big of an impact in less than 17 minutes on the game. He makes six threes. He shoots seven, and all seven, if I remember correctly, were heavily contested. Woo, he made some big shots. And they're good offensively. They really space you. Um, Obviously Nigel Pack, and he scored a lot of points throughout his career. We're not that bad defensively. We all know that. They had it really going offensively today.
Jeremiah made the trip. How close is he to coming back?
I have no idea. It's thought hadn't crossed my mind today. I was just locked in on Oklahoma. If I knew Jordan, I'd let you know. Um, Obviously he would make a difference whenever he's on the court for us, but we didn't defend it at a high enough level today, rather, to give ourselves a chance.
I know it's early and you still have to watch the tape, but what's your early assessment of how Kareem Stagg fit into the starting five?
He was really good. I thought he really settled us in offensively in the at the beginning of the game. Made some confidence plays, some swagger plays for a freshman on the road in his first start in the SEC. Did some really good things. There's some things that we've got to work on, all of us, transition defense, namely, and all the switching we're doing with him, switching onto some of their fast guards. We got to clean up some stuff, but was proud of his effort. I thought we had four or five guys play really hard. I'm not sure we played a guy that didn't play hard, but our attention to detail defensively with our ball screen coverage, with guarding their guard to guard ball screens, their unique level or amount of ghosting for each other. We tried to throw every ball screen coverage we got at them, and none of it worked real well for us.
Let's go Graham Coffee, then Harrison Reno.
Yeah, Mike, how did you feel about shot selection in the second half? They get up on that 18-0 run. I think
Yeah.
you had said maybe back to A&M game, you felt like you guys were trying to kind of hit too many home runs getting
Yeah.
back into that game. How did you feel about it this time around?
Same thing, not to that extent though. First half, as good a shot selection as we've had all year. I would say for 40 minutes, I said it on the radio, it might have been our best, but I take that back after um, remembering that little spurt that we had, and you just reminded me. We had a couple guys that hadn't played in a little bit and foul trouble, and they get in, and you want to just get involved, and you're a little bit too thirsty to score it, a little bit too. You got to let it come to you, right? A little bit sped up. So there was a spurt there. I would say probably a 2 or 3 minute spurt where we had loud, ugly offensive possessions, and boom, the lead was spread open to, I don't know, 13, 14, just like that. And then, from that point on, we're clawing from behind. But man, first 25 minutes of the game, I really liked our shot selection. As good as any first 25 of any game this year. That period was bad, and then the rest of the game certainly wasn't great, but you're down 15, 16. You want to be aggressive. You're on a road. You can't get stops. I certainly don't want our guys ever taking tough ones, but I do. I'm not mad at our guys, obviously, for fighting and try to put their head down and put pressure on the rim and be aggressive and be confident. Because at that point, I mean, we're down pretty significantly.
Yeah, coach, kind of going off that, what does it mean to this team and to you to see a guy like Blue Kane kind of step up for the second game in a row and scoring with Jeremiah obviously unavailable?
Thought Blue was good, and he was good defensively too. It's funny how that works. We've talked about it over the years with Blue. Throughout guys' process, you're always, at least most of the time, you're going to have guys that take a couple steps forward and then a step back, and then 3 steps forward, a couple steps back, and he's had a few tough ones this year, but he's had a bunch of really good ones, and this was a good one for him. 3 assists, 0 turnovers. I'm just looking down here, 9 of 15. He's really efficient. And I don't remember a loud defensive mistake. I'm sure there'll be a couple of things when you study film that he could have done a little bit better. I thought he was really solid, though. In a losing effort, he played well today.
Let's go to Bryce.
Yeah, Coach, when you're on the, I guess, receiving end of a run like they went on, you mentioned attention to detail, you mentioned kind of the focus thing. In that moment, I mean, how do you kind of get out of that, and what can you go forward, I guess, taking away of how you kind of stop those slides and, I guess, the avalanche that kind of occurred today?
Well, it's part of the process of learning how to win consistently, eventually becoming part of a championship culture, competing for championships. I mean, it's a process, and these processes are different now with the amount of turnover on every roster, obviously, right? So what can we do in the now? I'd like for every kid on our team to be 3 years older and having come off 3 straight conference championships and going to the Sweet 16s and all that. And that's in order to become a good enough team to just to have a good practice tomorrow and win the next one. A lot of those characteristics, a lot of those traits, we've just got to continue to, as a staff, just challenge our guys with, encourage our guys, educate our guys. These are the losing plays we made. These are the winning plays we made. Our guys know. They knew in the locker room when I addressed them after the game, 15, 20 minutes ago. They know a lot of the things that we've got to do better. In Oklahoma, they're old, first of all, and a lot of those guys they've experienced winning, and some of our guys have too, and that's why we're leaning on guys like Jordan Ross, who's part of a top 25 team last year in a conference championship, and Blue. We need to be a consistent lead by example type guy. He got into an NCAA tournament last year as a sophomore, and Dylan and Justin Bailey we lean on because he helps Wofford get to an NCAA tournament, and we've just got to make more winning plays, and it starts with me and our staff and helping these guys understand how that looks, and continue to stay on our guys about how that looks, because we've shown it at times, and we showed it in the first half. I think you looked at the first half in Norman, Oklahoma, after a tough game the other day, a really quick turn. We played well. We played well, and then we made some plays that represent not understanding how to win on the road in the SEC about 5 minutes into the second half, and it was over.
All right. Thanks, Coach.